You are listening to Single Smart Female. This is Jen, letting it all hang out for your love life, examining your dating experiences, and answering your hot topic dating questions. Just you and me. No topic is off limits and no filters involved. I am here to help you do dating on your terms. If you have a question that you would like me to answer or would like to immediately upgrade your love life with our collection of classes and exclusive merchandise, meet me over now at singlesmartfemale.com. Hello, and welcome to the show. Jen here, your host, and today our question comes all the way from New Jersey, from Miss Kim, as in Chemistry 101. Now, Miss Kim 101 is 48 years old, and she writes, "Dear Jen, can attraction grow? I've started seeing someone who is a great catch in so many ways other than the attraction checkbox for me. I'm trying something new in terms of my selection preferences because I feel like I tend to choose the wrong guys for me more often than not. The guys that are charismatic, fun, cute, but then are not truly there for me. I guess I would have to give this guy a 6 or a 7 out of 10 in terms of looks, but he has so many other great qualities that make me want to stick it out. Physically, facially, he's not my type, but the sex is really great. Can the attraction piece withstand the test of time? Additional information, Ms. Kim 101 would like me to know about her. I've been divorced for 3 years, got right on the online dating sites to check things out, have been on many dates with few resulting in second or third dates. Unfortunately, but I've had a couple of relationships that lasted months, with one lasting 2 years. I've been seeing this particular guy for 2 months, however, and see long-term potential there." Okay, also another piece of information, she was married for 18 years, so she's still fairly new to the dating world, although I think you're a pro now by 3 years. I think you're doing really great, and proud of you for dating and putting yourself back out there and exploring. So let's dive into this question, because this might very well be, and I might have said this about something else before because I do that sometimes, but this might very well be my favorite all-time question, because this is exactly what happened to me. So back in 2006, the first time I met my now husband, although he is very traditionally attractive, I'm not really into traditionally attractive guys for the most part. And I had no clue at the time. I didn't see him as attractive. Now, the reason I didn't see him as attractive at the time was because I had just been out on a really bad date and I was kind of pissed off at men in general. And I met him on a night that I was just kind of stepping out of my shell again, because this particular date that I'd had shook me up bad. So I had some, for lack of a better word, some I hate men goggles on at that time, or I'm a little nervous about men. And he approached me trying to be funny and charming and all kinds of things. And I was just like, what the fuck is this guy trying to pull right now? He is aggravating the living shit out of me. And I didn't notice at all that he was just trying to be charming and funny and trying to get me to notice him in a positive way. Instead, all I saw was how he was aggravating me and wouldn't leave me alone. Well, I'm really thankful now that he did. Now, I'm not saying that should be all cases and all scenarios, but I'm really thankful now that he didn't. I said did, but I meant didn't leave me alone for that night. Finally, I did agree to take his number, and I had no idea whether or not I would call him at that point. I was leaning more towards no at the time. Well, things happened. I'm going to say God, but my higher power, and of course, insert whatever higher power you believe in, put him in my path again in a very noticeable way that could only be determined that I was supposed to meet with this guy again. And I finally accepted a date with him. And I went out, and I still, even though he was really nice and really funny, wasn't completely convinced and didn't have this overwhelming attraction to him that I used to think was really key in long-term romance. My sister, that very night, because I actually took her out on a date with me for our first date, which I remember him telling me he thought was definitely interesting. I think were his words. And she comes back home and she tells me how much she loves his thick Tennessee accent and how hot he was. And that was the first time I noticed that he was hot. Now, from there, I started spending some time with him, and I realized that this man and I could laugh for literally 6 to 8 hours straight together. I've had some great experiences with my life with men, but I had never had that kind of humor connection and the way that we felt together. It was just, and it developed over time. I didn't go into it straight away, but he broke down my barriers of resistance that I didn't realize I had at the time, and charmed me again and again and stepped up into being my man. And with doing this Mantourage dating experiences, because as most of you know, I started Mantourage dating in 2006 when I met my now husband. I started focusing my attention exclusively on the men who treated me the way that I wanted to be treated. So only when men would step up from me would they get my attention. And he kept doing that little by little, and then more and more. And as he did that, I started becoming extremely attracted to him. Now, why is that exactly? Believe it or not, most people will tell you it's not true, but chemistry is 100% malleable. And adored women, which is what I teach women to be in the context of while they Mantourage date, as you step into the identity of an adored woman, her chemistry becomes malleable. And since she focuses exclusively on the men who treat her the way that she wants to be treated, then all of a sudden she becomes attracted to that, and she has no time for men who treat her like shit. That whole notion of I'm only attracted to bad boys starts to fall away. He can be a bad boy, but he better treat you like an adored woman as well. And if he can't, well, then he doesn't get your attention right now until he does. That is how that works. And again, it's a practice, it's a habit. As you focus on these men who treat you well, you are going to find more chemistry than you thought was even possible. Now, another component of that, of course, and we talk about this a lot here on Single Smart Female, is you focusing on your happiness. The happier you are, the more turned on you're going to be in life, the more bandwidth and pleasure capacity you have for different types of men. Now, I remember one of the guys that I actually became obsessed with before I started my Mantourage dating experience. And this was a man who was, by society standards, not attractive whatsoever. Not attractive at all. But that man I became obsessed with because he made me feel things below the belt that I didn't know that existed on a sexual pleasure front. And he was so focused on when we went out, making me feel amazing, that I focused all of my attention on him, and eventually he fell away. Because remember, it's very important as you're doing your Mantourage dating experience, until you have an exclusive relationship with somebody, keep your options open. Well, I didn't at the time, and it all tumbled on me. Now, with that said, let me tell you another funny little story. I don't recommend when, as I told you, I wasn't attracted to my husband when we first met. Now I'm wildly attracted to him, and lots of women find him very attractive. But I told his mother the story thinking that it was very amusing, and I was trying to convey that how charming her son was. I was actually trying to pay her a compliment, but all she ever heard was I didn't find her son attractive, which pissed her off to no end and started our relationship off really rocky. So I don't suggest you explaining this to moms right away until you've had several years under your belt knowing each other. Just a little tip in your Mantourage dating experience when you decide to become exclusive and meet his family. So again, yes, attraction 100% can grow. I want you, as the adored woman you were meant to be, to keep focusing your attention on the men who treat you the way that you want to be treated. Now, think about this collectively. Attention is approval to men. So if you focus your attention on a guy who's treating you like shit, and you're always there for him at his beck and call because you're so afraid you're going to lose the opportunity with him, and so many women do this, by the way, then you're basically giving guys permission to just treat you however they want to treat you, whenever they want to treat you. Okay? If you start, and we as women start focusing on the men who treat us really well, then all these other guys, they're not going to have any women paying attention to them. And eventually, the whole society, men are going, as a society, are going to start to have to step up together. Now, we already see bits of this happening, but adored women who do this exclusively, never have problems finding love. and drawing in love because so many great men are going to be drawn to her. So many men are going to realize that, hey, she's really high quality. I better bring my A game. So very important that you recognize this. One of the things that I do, this is again, one of my favorite topics because I actually offer this as a bonus in 2 of my courses. If you go to helpmeonlinedate.com, I'll give you the first two chapters of that program for free. And if you decide to purchase the program, Chemistry is Malleable comes as a bonus, as well as if you would like to work with me in the Courage Kit, where I actually help guide you through this, because even I know how smart all of you ladies are, but sometimes we need somebody to help us tweak it for our life, to be there for us, to stand next to us and say, you know what, you can do this, and let me show you how you can do this, and run alongside you while you do this, because I get it. This stuff can be really nerve-wracking, no matter how successful you are, how strong you are, how much you've accomplished in your life. This dating thing, it comes with a lot of emotions. It comes with feeling extremely vulnerable, but there's ways to do it, and I can help you do it to make it really work for you and to help you create an atmosphere and to step into the adored woman you are supposed to be, that you can be, and that you will be. This show is brought to you by Irresistibility, expert help for women with online dating. Are you experiencing inbox crickets or real-life crazies? It's not you, it's your online dating profile. Let me help you do online dating that leads to real life, love, and romance. Go to helpmeonlinedate.com and I will send you the first 2 video chapters of my program for free. Welcome back, single smart female. Guess what? It's segment number 2, and today we're going to do another listener submission all the way from Ventura, California. Miss California Lovin' writes, Dear Jen, after listening to many of your podcasts, I have been living the ultimate dating life. I am seeing more than one man, getting hurt way less frequently, and becoming more picky when it comes to choosing men to add to my mantourage. I'm also building up my confidence and I'm not afraid to approach men at all. That makes me really happy, just so you know. If I am at a bar, I will approach a hot guy and strike up a combo, or at least try. Approaching men at bars is easy, but what about in daily life? How can I approach a cutie? What are some easy things to talk about? For instance, I was at Subway when a hot-ass guy opened the door for me and let me order before him. I struck up a convo, but I felt like he wasn't picking up what I was trying to throw down. What are some ways to approach men in public to give them the green light to hit on me? What can I talk about to a guy in public to show him that I think he is hot? I've even talked about it to my close male friends. They too struggle with approaching women in public unless it's at a bar. Help. So here's some other information that Miss California Lovin' wanted me to know about her. She said, I'm surviving, but I need to add more men to my current mantourage. I've thrown a bunch to the curb lately, but finding it hard to find quality men that are worth my time and effort. Okay, this is a great question. Something that I don't get too often because most women find it a lot easier to just approach men with online dating, which is one of my ways I love to do to help build up female confidence. It is very easy to go from talking to somebody to date to going on a date online because that's a natural progression of things. Now, public. I'm going to tell you specifically what you could do in the Subway conversation that you were talking about, which, by the way, I'm very, very proud of you. Like I said before, I love that your confidence is building and you're approaching men because that's what being an adored woman's all about. Now, every adored woman has to do this, but I want you to feel like it is your right and to have this much fun in dating and to be able to approach men and understand that many of them are going to be very attracted to your confidence, your boldness, and still be willing to pursue you at the same time. Okay. The thing you could have said when he opened the door for you, and then as you struck up a conversation before you said anything else, you could ask him, is this a preview of our first date? Or is this a preview of how you'll treat me on our first date? And I know that sounds very, very bold, but the worst case scenario is that he tells you he's dating someone else, which at that point in time, you could say, well, she's one lucky girl. And trust me when I say this, you are going to blow his mind for that day. Men, even the really hot ones, don't get hit on constantly, especially not by really sexy, intelligent, single, smart females. So you are going to have made his day, regardless if he's able to reciprocate or not. Okay? That, again, worst case scenario is he tells you he is seeing someone else, but that will be a great opening statement to make to him. You can talk to men about just about anything, and then you can decide from that conversation if you would like to leave him with a little thought like, well, I've really enjoyed this conversation, and if you would like to ask me out on a date, I just might say yes. You can do things like that. Yes, there is a potential for you being rejected, but you're still building your romantic courage muscle, which, again, super sexy. Being unapologetically romantic is hot. Okay, understanding that every man is not going to reciprocate that attraction in that moment. For instance, I've had lots of men who maybe weren't very attracted to me when they first met me, but then over time became attracted to me. And just realizing that maybe that's not the guy for you. It might be universal protection. There's a lot of things going on, but still enjoying being playful and flirtatious and just having a great time as a woman and exploring your power as an adored woman and your power of attraction is something you deserve to explore. And I commend you for it. And I want you to keep taking that to the next level. Now, with that said, I also have an even better idea. Well, it's just as good. So what the information I already gave you is really good as well. But this is an even more fun, playful idea. I want you to go to singlesmartfemale.com. The top of the page, click the link that says shop. There, I have our Single Smart Female collection with all kinds of fun merchandise that you can wear on your dating adventures. You don't have to be out on a date. You can be working out at the gym. You can just be in public hanging out with your girls. You can get all three of your girls the same shirt and see the response. There are lots of fun things that are being said on that shirt that are going to give men the opportunity to approach you in a very empowering way. So again, I want you to go to singlesmartfemale.com. You're going to enjoy these. Trust me on that. And go to shop, click shop at the top, and check out all that different merchandise that you can take on your outings that are going to up-level your dating experience and give the right men permission to approach you. Okay, Lover Girl, it's time for the final thought on today's show. Chemistry is 100% malleable, and when you exclusively focus on the men that treat you the way you want to be treated, not only will you find the love of your life, you will experience things below the belt that you never believed possible. This show is brought to you by Irresistibility, expert help for women with online dating. Are you experiencing inbox crickets or real-life crazies? It's not you, it's your online dating profile. Let me help you do online dating that leads to real-life love and romance. Go to helpmeonlinedate.com and I will send you the first 2 video chapters of my program for free. Hey, Lover Girl, this is Jen again. Don't forget to subscribe to the show in your favorite podcast app, as well as share Single Smart Female with all of your single smart girlfriends. And if you would like to play around and learn more about Mantourage dating, come see me at singlesmartfemale.com. Talk to you next time.